Hey yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of World of Tanks. it's dramatic. It's dramatic. Hey, we've got Paramagician today. Clan 3 ATD sent this to me on Discord of all things, so I'm getting content from every direction. You will note that there is a new patch. It's very loud there, Mr. Chinese guy. There is a new patch, and I am feverishly trying to get through as much of the content you guys have sent me as possible. Obviously, I'm not going to really get through everything. I do appreciate the stuff that gets sent, so keep on sending it, and we will try to get you featured as soon as possible if you've got something interesting or funny or fantastically good or odd or whatever the case may be. But Paramagician is in his WZ120-1 FT. This is a really good Tier 8 Chinese premium TD. As casemates go, pretty mobile, decent sloped armor. Not particularly thick, but lots of slope, as you can see right there. Paramagician's we're gonna have a good time with this because he's gonna press the W button, which I appreciate greatly, immensely. He is going to do some things with the Casemate TD that I try to do, but I'm not very good at. So I'm gonna talk about those as we get there, and we're just gonna have a little bit of fun here as he W's through this enemy team. So yo to the, what clan is it? 3 ATD. And we've got a Cromwell, an Excalibur. Is this guy going to take one in the turret? Yeah, he doesn't really want to challenge the WZ-120. He is top tier in a 3-tier battle. This is a scary tank in this battle. The only thing on the two things on the enemy team that he'd be really scared of are the Renegade and the T-28 potentially, and of course the Oni with the derp. The rest of it he's going to kind of have his way with. There's the M44 having his say. Saying a little "how's your father" right there, and now we're going to find these guys. Now, I want you to watch. He does a lot of auto aiming, and he does it in pretty clever ways. We'll talk about that. The other thing he does is he's going to use his right mouse button, hold it down and look around, but keep his gun, look at that, pointed in one direction. Now, he's auto aimed on this guy right now, so he's got it. Now he kind of comes up here, and we'll see a sequence of this where he will just hold it locked down here while he looks around. Alright, why is he doing that? See how small the dispersion circle is right there? He right-clicks, hold the gun in one position, look around to get SA with the camera work and figure out what he sees, and then if something comes out to fire, he'll center back up his pipper at least as close to the center as he can, and then he'll move the gun. So if you sit here with a TD and you wave the gun around, and say you hit the stop and then you move the whole of the casemate, even more dispersion, and so you got dispersion flying all over. So it looks like he's very well practiced at keeping his gun online and kind of looking around at what's going on. The other thing I mentioned that he does a lot is he's going to auto aim and wait for guys to poke out. He's going to auto aim on the run, and we'll talk about that as we go. So he's just kind of holding his gun right there and still using basically a free camera idea to look around. Zooming out, zooming in. I like the SA gathering with the camera work. Now, there you go. So there was a great example. He didn't get the shot, but the pipper was just off to the side a little bit. As soon as that guy showed up, he returned his, I guess, the pipper there, all right, to the center of where the gun was locked, and he did not lose a whole bunch of dispersion doing it. It just wasn't fast enough to get the shot. 1 hit point on the T-28. All right, we're having a fun little sequence right here. Taking a look over this way. Actually, it's going to come up here in just a minute. We'll come around the corner. Oh, the setter. Yeah, we got to kill the setter off. Setter's there. He's going to take a shot at him. Maybe rush just a little bit. Get spotted doing it. Setter's kind of going back and forth. T-92 is moving around. Now, he has the setter auto-aimed from earlier, if you noticed, and then as soon as the guy comes out, he's not even looking at the setter, which is fantastic, camera-wise. The gun is locked on. He's watching over here. He knows that the setter clears, and once he gets a highlight on the setter, he can left-click and fire. All right? So that is one of the ways to mitigate the clumsiness of a casemate TD when you're kind of doing that brawling or poking fight like that. A lot of people, me included, to be quite honest, will be kind of zoomed in with the casemate, sort of staring down the soda straw at that one guy. Now, I try to do what he does there, but I'm not as good at it. He's going to come in here. We're going to say hello to that guy. Boom, ammo rack, 542. Sneaks right by the 100. Little pirouette. Woohoo! Pretty fast reload on this thing, and unfortunately, it doesn't quite kill him. He does get a nice high roll at 426, which I believe this is a 390 Alpha gun, or is it even... Oh, no, it's 440. Got a low roll. Never mind. T-92 takes a couple chunks out of him, kills his commander. But now we're just going to push in, and even though it doesn't quite look like it, it really is a little miss there. Really is clean up on aisle 2. The enemy team is in a bad position. If you take a look at the minimap right now, divert your eyes down and right, and you will notice that they really have them stuffed into a corner, and this is a bad thing for an enemy team. It's not that they're too far ahead, really. They are a few tanks ahead, but the enemy team is in bad shape as far as positioning and, of course, not having quite enough tanks. So you can see the nice speed. What are we doing? About 42 kilometers an hour right there, right across the open. Looks like he's going back towards the camping guys, maybe to take on the 25/2 and the T-50-2. He had the gun up in the air in the victory formation. Victory position. Now you're going to see some more auto-aim action right here. He auto-aims this guy, just spins around, comes off of it, sees the 25-2, doesn't really want to walk into both of those guys, and a little RNG help, but hey, he took the shot and nukes the guy in the face. And now he's going to auto-aim this guy again. So now he's just driving, he's got this dude auto-aimed, and that's the thing. Now, that's the danger right there. I was going to mention it earlier, but that was a great example. He had him auto-aimed. Let's just back this up, actually. And you've got to watch that with any tank when you auto-aim them. We're going to come around here. I think we're going to watch the T-25/2 die again. There we go. So he gets about halfway through his reload and then starts moving. This is very important. This is another great lesson that old Paramagician has given us right here. He starts moving before he's reloaded, knowing that it's going to take him a few moments to get in position to shoot, and he should be reloaded about the time he's ready to shoot. Now, it's just a timing thing. It's going to be different for every tank that you play. So here he comes. So he's auto-aimed, all right? Now he's coming around the corner, and he is got his camera elsewhere. All right? So he's not zoomed in like this. Here comes the Pipper across. It's going to get onto the T-50-2. And, oh, so really just barely a pixel shot, and it goes high. And that's because you can see that he's coming up on the terrain right there. All right, that's one of those things you're going to have to watch out for when you're using a lot of auto-aim. A little ram for some extra damage. This guy's just shooting at people, hoping that he can get one more shot off. Down he goes from the Super Hellcat, and now we're going to come in there and clean up the Oni. But first we get to find the M44. Oh, hello. Auto-aim. Boom, on the run. Nicely done. This is something I do at this point in the game to get as many hit points as possible. Sometimes it misses. Nicely done there, a little aim. We ended up with 5 kills. 2,967 damage, 268 assists. You know, that end game cleanup time, just fire that gun as fast as you can. You know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes you need to aim in a little bit and do some things like that, but as a general rule, at ranges like that and trying to get a shot off before, you know, 5, 6, 7 other tanks take shots at him. In the case of Artie, when Artie gets seen, you've got another Artie of your own or multiples that are alive that might be trying to shoot him. Just take that shot, see what happens. But really nicely done. I like the ammo rack and the pirouette. The whole thing was just a really fun, aggressive, in-your-face WZ-120 battle. I mentioned a little bit at the beginning about the matchup, and it was very favorable for the WZ-120. The prototype was not particularly aggressive. The Renegade was not, and the Oni was not on his side, so he really just gobbled up all the lower tier stuff that was over on his side. A little bit of help with the passive prototype, and they're off to the races. So I appreciate that, Paramagician. Nicely done, well played. Some great lessons for you TD type players, especially the Casemate guys who want to be a little bit more aggressive and try to mitigate a bit of the Casemate problem with not having a turret. There were a couple great techniques in there that you can take a look at. That is all I've got for today. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys.